as a coach, it's really important for us to consistently get discovery calls on our calendar. This is how we screen people before we start working with them on a one-on-one basis. Now, before we get on a discovery call with someone, we want to make sure that they are ready for this next step in their business. And the best way to do that is to have an application. So today I'm going to show you how to create a quick application using Typeform and how to link it on your website. Okay, before I show you how to build out your application, I'm going to show you what it looks like once you're done. So this is the application that I'm currently using to screen applicants before I go on a discovery call with them. And I really like Typeform because it does have a very seamless flow, and I like it also because you can brand it with your colors and photos. So if someone goes to my website and they click the button to apply to work with me, they're going to end up at this link, lindsaymaloney.typeform.com/theformid. So they're going to go ahead and click that button, and then they're going to go through the application process. And I'm just going to show you the questions that I ask my current applicants. First, I ask them for their name. And then I go ahead and ask them for their email. I also ask them for their website. Some of my clients don't have a website before they start, and that's totally fine because we help them build that. And I just want to know that because if they do list one, I will go in and poke around at their site just to see what they're about. The next thing I ask is if they have an Instagram account because I like to go see what they're up to over there. And it's nice to be able to follow and connect with someone who you are going to go on a call with. It just helps build up that relationship a little bit quicker. Then I also ask them what kind of coach they are because I have all kinds of coaches that are working under me, and I love to hear the different varieties that are out there. And that just helps me gauge whether or not I feel we're a good fit as well. Think about your business. What are you struggling with right now? Tell me all about it. I want to know what they're struggling with, what's keeping them up at night, what they're thinking about constantly, that those major pain points that they're having. I want them to feel comfortable to express that here because I want to see if I can, if I have the ability to help them through this because I know what my coaching experiences look like and I want to make sure that we are a good fit. So we're always asking questions that are going to determine whether our time together is going to be effective. You're going to get applicants that are not a good fit. You just are. And it's going to be tempting to accept all of your clients, but you don't want to do that because you want to enjoy what you're doing. Not every client is going to be a good fit, and this is one of the best ways to determine if they are or not. Then I go ahead to question 7 and I ask them, what do you want more than anything? Don't be afraid to dream big. And I love seeing this because it tells me exactly what they would see for their perfect day, their perfect life. What do they want for their business, for their personal life? People are very happy to elaborate here, and that makes me happy because I can see the possibilities for them and I want to be able to help them get there. Question 8 is, how long have you been in business? And I love to hear whether they just started or whether they've been doing this for 1, 3, 5+ years. This is important to me because I also help coaches set up their coaching business. So one of my favorite things to do is and see is when they're just starting or maybe they are wanting to hit the reset button. Those are my ideal clients. And then we have the last question, which is, what kind of help are you looking for? And I also make sure they know that there are 2-year payment plans available when working with me. And I list out my packaging here. I'm going to also show you over here. The reason why I do this is I know it can feel really scary to list out your pricing on your application, but this makes your calls so much easier because the people who get on a call with you are ready to invest. And your conversion rates increase dramatically because they have already dug around on your sales page. They've already taken a look at your packages. They can see what's inside them. And I'm reminding them with a little bit of a summary and price tags because I want to get on calls with people who are interested in growing their business with me and who know what the investment will feel like and look like for them. So I do make them choose which one they're interested in. And this increases my conversions, like I said. Plus, I have noticed that my highest converting package is the $10,000 package. When people do this, they are committing to a number. And when we get on the call, then we can really fast forward the process and talk about what this will look like for them. If you work with me for 12 months, here's what's going to happen. That way, we're not even at the point where we're deciding whether we want to work with someone or not, or whether they want to work with you, we're going fast forward into what does the 3-month package look like? What about that 12? And then we can have a conversation about that. And it will really help you as a coach to get on a call with confidence, knowing that they're ready to invest and you're not going to have those awkward conversations that so many of us dread. After they hit submit, then they're put into my inbox and I will see a notification that someone has filled out my application. I can review it and move forward with my discovery call process. So those are the questions that I ask. Now I want to show you how I built that form. You notice that I have 9 questions. I think in Typeform you're allowed to have 10 and then you have to upgrade to a higher plan. And I think 9 is more than plenty. I don't want people to have to feel like the forms are a chore or a hassle to fill out. I want it to be as easy as possible. So here's how I filled out my Typeform. Now this space here is kind of an intro space, and this is where you can put your instructions on how for them to fill it out. This is the welcome screen. I would do the welcome screen right away, obviously, and just keep it short and sweet. Don't put a bunch of info on there. They're probably not going to have time to read. They're anxious to fill out the app. Then we move on to the next questions where I ask the questions that I need to know the answers to before I go on a call. And over here, you can see that I'm using the short text. I could choose the long, but the short works just fine. I also make them required. I check those boxes because I want them to fill these out. Sometimes you'll have people who will just put like NA, 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 and I always just reject them because if they can't fill out all the questions, then they're not serious. So you can see that all of these are required all the way through, and I'm using the short text. And then this one right here, I'm using long text. You can use whatever you like. And then here is multiple choice, and it's required. And you can choose, multiple selection or whatever you want to do, whatever is right for you. And then this one is also required with those 3 packages, and you can add more choices too. Just know that every time you go in and edit your application, your results could be a little bit different because you can export your results into a CSV, or you can just view them all in one spot here. So you can kind of see the data, what kind of people are coming in for you, and what kind of coaches they are, if you really want to get into the analysis of the people who are applying to work with you. There are some additional features that you could add to your Typeform. You could do like a thank you page, next steps, more personalized endings, but that requires you to upgrade. And I don't feel like we need that at this time. So use the free plan. So my next recommendation is for you to write down all the questions that you would ask on your application, the things that you would love to know about your future client, and then go ahead and jump into Typeform, build out your form. And I also want to add one little bonus tip. I want to make sure that you are turning on the notifications. A lot of times people forget to do this, and I don't think it's a default to turn it on. So you want to do this. You want to check this little box here so you get an email when someone completes your form. I want to say that the default is to not do this, and pretty soon you won't even know who's all filling out your form unless you come into Typeform and check your results. So just make sure you do that. You're going to go into that settings gear, and the pop-up is going to come, and you're going to go to notifications, and you'll just switch that on, and you'll be able to see it in your inbox. I also have a filter created and some rules created in my Gmail where if someone fills out the discovery call application, I highlight that so it stands out in my inbox so it doesn't end up getting deleted. But that's for another video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. Now, I want to challenge you to write down the questions that you would ask on your application. Think of the things that you would like to know about a person before you hop on a discovery call with them. What's important to you? You've seen the questions that I ask, and those might work for you, but I want you to actually tune into what you would love to know before you go on a call. We are all different coaches. We all have different clientele. So I want to make sure that you're utilizing this to its full capacity. You can use the free version. You don't need the paid version. You can also use other software such as Google Forms or SurveyMonkey or whatever. There's so many different applications you can use. I just want to show you how you can do this for free. And then pretty soon you will have notifications in your inbox that someone has filled out the application, and then you can move forward with your discovery call process. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was super helpful. Save it in your favorites, and I will see you on the next one.